We're here with a special Sunday night episode with a guy you recognize from Monday nights, who's taking a little break until the January transfer window about. But this Bitch Fest will still be up, as you can see in his little handle there. It's at WB1.
Yeah,
Fest, yeah.
We were a little afraid of actually putting the word "bitch fest" in there, that the YouTube people would come, the YouTube police would come after us a little bit. So what we decided to do is put the one in there. So it's myself and Nick are going to keep rolling that. But yeah, I'm on hiatus for a little while as I travel the world.
That's awesome. So you're my co-host tonight, and we have a special. Stop it! Listen, Wayne. All right, I was just going to mention. Listen. Please don't. Yeah, we have a special producer tonight that you can't see, Wayne, as you can tell with his words there. So we have someone handling all the stuff that we don't necessarily want to handle, but I don't know. I'm regretting that already. It's not even a minute into this. All right, our special guest from Wisconsin is Zach. Is it Zach Andrucci, or how do you say?
Andrucci, and from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee, right on.
Not the whole state, yeah.
You're not repping the whole state. What's up with that? No.
I don't want to overstretch myself.
Okay, so
it's a big state. You could cover part of it. Look for some friends.
There's a lot of people, right?
First of all, I got to mention we do have a sponsor, is drinkwaredesign.com. They make these fancy mugs. You can get any design that you want on there. These mugs are actually fantastic, regardless of what you put on there. So head on over to drinkwaredesign.com and get yourself some. They also make engraved flasks and other sport bottles and whatnot, but these are awesome. And one of the main dudes over there is a hammer, the Dallas Hammer, as a matter of fact. So give him some support and show your love.
Which lad is that? I didn't know that was actually one of us.
Paul.
Cool. That's awesome. I love it when we can do more stuff with each other here in the U.S. That's awesome.
Hell yeah. So Zach, first and foremost, how we usually do this is we need to find out how on earth you became a hammer.
All right. So back in the 10-11 season, my cousin was going to a pub around Milwaukee called the Highbury Pub. It's Arsenal name, but the owner's actually a Palace fan. So there's some confusion there, but
that's weird.
Yeah, but it works out. So he was going and talking about how much fun he was having watching the games. I'd always been a fan of soccer, so I was thinking, I'll check it out. Good reason to day drink. And he mentioned kind of the loyalty aspect of it, how you had to pick a club. So I was really into London and like the East End, the craze, the gangsters and the villains. So I found out West Ham was in the East End, did a little background on them and working class club, everything I was looking for, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. No, that's cool. That's a cool story, man.
Have you actually been over to London to watch a match yet?
Yep. I went over to Upton Park twice. I saw him play Sunderland, which that was amazing. We ended up in the chicken run right next to the away fans, and it was going off the whole time. I don't even think we found our seats. I was just running around.
Oh, dude, that's the best way to watch it. Have you been over to the OS yet?
No, I went again so you can play Watford at the Upton Park the second time, and then last year for my honeymoon we went over there and we went to Huddersfield away.
Okay, well, Huddersfield was away. I made the mistake of taking some of my friends to Cardiff away.
Oh,
that was a bad day.
Yeah.
So
too bad.
Yeah. So are there a lot of people out in your neck of the woods out in Milwaukee? The whole of Wisconsin. I understand you don't cover all of Wisconsin.
Yeah. I don't want to misspeak here. No, Milwaukee, yeah, there's a big football scene here. And actually in the state as well. We just got a couple local teams just started up outdoor, but Premier League wise, there's probably like 5 or 6 pubs in the city. There's tons of supporter groups for all different clubs. I've seen Hull City fans. We have a couple baggies. The big ones at the Highbury are the Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham moved to another pub, so that was nice. Then there's West Ham. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people, so it's well represented.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and we like to drink too, so it works out pretty nice.
There's a little bit of that with West Ham, I've heard.
It happens.
Yeah, we noticed that Lee and I went to the Premier League Mornings Fan Fest thing that they had in Boston, and I saw Hull shirts just like you're saying, man. I saw Palace shirts. There's actually a lot of Palace fans.
Oh yeah.
Traveled up there for that. it's nice to see, other teams besides the top 6 or top 4 or whatever, the same old, even though there was millions of Liverpool, millions of Man United and Arsenal and Chelsea shirts, not as many City as I thought, you know what I mean? Which is really bizarre because after Leicester won, I mean, you see Leicester shirts galore around here because, again, a lot of these soccer fans from, the U.S., when they first decided to get into a team, they check the table, obviously, the most recent table. I'd say most of them. I wouldn't say all of them, obviously, because our stories are different. But a typical American soccer fan is out for glory. They say, okay, well, who's the Yankees? Who's the who's the Red Sox? On the table, or Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, Green Bay Packers.
Who's the Patriots? Who's the Patriots of the BPL? But no, it was nice to see.
We actually have a Sunderland supporters group that just started showing up, and if you think West Ham has a depressing time, I mean, those guys just got to be.
I can appreciate that, though. You know what I mean? I would never support Sunderland, but I mean, I can appreciate. Yeah, that's kind of cool, though, to see that versus, I hear horror stories about the Arsenal supporters. And
what was that? What was that Sunderland?
Sunderland Till I Die.
I mean, like that really. I don't. Zach, did you ever talk with any of the people there about Sunderland and that show, or have they said anything to you yet?
I have not met them yet. They had a few games at the pub, but that was preseason. So for us, they were in the season already. So I haven't talked with any of them. But what's funny is when I went to the West Ham Sunderland match back in London, after the game at the Bowl and Pub, we stayed till close, and we just got hammered with these two guys. One was a Londoner, and one was from Sunderland, and they were in the service together over there. And we've been friends ever since. And the Sunderland guy actually came and visited 2 years ago, and we just got shit faced the whole weekend, watched footy. And he ended up peeing in one of our guest beds, passed out on the sidewalk, almost getting arrested by like 7 cops. And he jumped in the Milwaukee River, which is really not the best kind of water to be jumping in. So it was a good weekend.
It sounds like a typical football weekend. I made the mistake once of going up to Newcastle for the last match of the season, West Ham at Newcastle. In case you hadn't noticed, I have that thick Canadian accent. I couldn't order a beer.
No
I had to have somebody actually translate beer for me. I ended up carrying one of the Londoners over my shoulder back onto the train, and I just had to look at the guard going, "You didn't see this. It's all good." Waved us on. So I'm very familiar with that kind of thing. How did you end up in the Bowl Inn? Like, did you know about it before you went? Or
we ended up going to the Queens, the Bowl Inn, and then the second time I went back, we found the Black Lion, which I believe is right off the tube stop. That place is awesome.
That is my pub. That's where my mate Pete and I go all the bloody time when we're there. Even though the Bowl Inn's gone and they've moved over to Low West, if Pete and I are there, we usually for a 3:00 kickoff, they'll open up at about 8 a.m, and we'll be lined up about 7:30 waiting for them.
Beautiful.
Did you ever get to the Vic Tavern?
No, I did not make it to the Vic yet, but the beauty of it is you still can get there. So I'm hoping next time to hit up the Vic and Carpenter's Arm.
The Carpenter's is amazing, but I got to warn you about the Vic. Vic, go in with a friend because some of the people are really scary, and the men aren't too bad, but some of the ladies are a little mean, a little nasty.
So you think I should go in and buy a round?
Actually, if you go in, make sure that they're okay with you, and if they like you, you won't even be able to get your wallet out of your pocket.
Yeah. All right.
The three or four times I've been there, I ran it actually Baz Cox for the first time ever there.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And I've gotten to know Baz fairly well. If I ever go in there now, that's like, hey, you're that fucker Canadian. Yeah. Put your wallet away, and it's hard leaving. So, dude, Beautiful. You gotta go.
Awesome. Yeah. No, that sounds great. Thanks for the suggestion.
But yeah, and the Carpenters is great too.
It reminds me a lot of the Bowl Inn, the way everyone's singing and dancing, throwing the beers.
Love it.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, hell yes.
And the police are nowhere to be found.
Right, yeah. There's actually a video of me somewhere on YouTube bouncing around in the Bowl Inn. I'll have to try to find it sometime, post it up there. But
I'm getting grief here from Wally that apparently I know all the pubs, and actually it's kind of terrible. I do. I do know a lot of the pubs.
Yeah. Well, that's what you go to when you go to a city, right?
Oh, I mean, one of the hardships, though, is which pubs. So you think about it. You can go to the Carpenters. You can go to the Black Lion. You can go to the Vic. The Bowl Inn's still there. I don't know how many people are going there anymore, but then you got the West Ham away.
Yeah, I went last time I was there in the end of 2018. It was horrible.
Didn't they get new ownership now? They shut it down.
I hope so.
They got new ownership, but I think the problem has become it is so far away from the match. And now you've also got Hammer's Chat doing the boats, and there's actually Ironworks Tours are doing the boats. The official supporters bar is at Stour Space, which is right beside there. So the hardship you have when you go there, if you kind of know some people, it's like, I'm going to disappoint these 20 people, but keep these 2 or 3 people happy.
Hey, it's always next time.
Well,
so
I mean, more excuses to go.
When was the last time you were over there, Scott?
I was there in March. I saw what do you call it? Cardiff away, and I was there with Nick Stamper, who does the Bitch Fest with me. We were at Huddersfield at home, hanging out with just shed loads of people. I mean, if going down, we get down in the Bobby Moore Lower. As a matter of fact, Nick and I are going over again here in September, looking for one last ticket because the bugger decided to bring his brother. So I got 2 tickets through a mate. And now we need a 3rd ticket in the Bobby Moore Lower. So I got Baz working his magic trying to get us another ticket down there.
He's definitely good at that. I went to Cart and Horses, and I think for the first match. And then the second match that I went to, it was an earlier game, obviously. I went to Carpenter's Arms, and that place was, like you said, electric. I mean, the singing, the dancing. There was a crazy Man U fan that was run down the street with a whip. And there was tons of West Ham supporters like running after him. It was fucking hilarious. They weren't even playing that night. It was against Everton, and there was a fucking Man U guy, fucking whipping a whip around the fucking street and taunting all the West Ham supporters. Stupid. But
par for the course.
Yeah.
The songs though, the songs are the best, man. The singing song was the best at the Carpenter's Arms, I would say.
So Zach, what are you liking so far? I mean, yesterday, let's ignore yesterday for a minute. Yesterday didn't happen. It was magic. What are you hoping for out of this year? I mean, everybody and their dog. I mean, we all got really excited this summer about not a lot of signings, but some smart signings. Yeah. Are you on board with that, or do you think we kind of missed the boat as a club?
No. I think we did a good job. I think we picked up some well-needed positions. Obviously, the defense is still looking a little weak on the left and sometimes on the right. And the center a little bit, but no, I think we did a good job. I like Haller. I think he's a strong, powerful guy who can he's fast and he can control the ball. He can create. He can also score. I mean, I'm really hoping he settles in well and can kind of take us up a step. Fornals looks class, not so much yesterday, but it's there.
That's what was strange. I think. That's the thing is that the physicality of what City was doing yesterday versus what Fornals dealt with in the La Liga. They were nipping and biting, man. City was just dirty. You know what I mean? They were
tactical fouls. Tactical fouls.
Hell of a lot of them. Hell of a lot of them. And that they're I get your point. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't think Fornals is used to that. Is what I was saying.
Well, we play the lower down teams. They're going to play even rougher. So I mean, he's got to toughen up.
No, correct, but that's also the issue that Anderson had last year. It took him a full year to settle in, and he looked like yesterday he was actually impressing me. I mean, he was before he took that knock in his thigh. I mean, he was in it. I mean, I've never seen him track back so hard, so quick. I mean, he was putting a lot of effort into that.
It's really been good. Tim, we saw a little bit time to time last year, but I mean, to see that in the first game, I didn't get a chance to watch the game live. I actually watched it on repeat this afternoon as soon as we got back. No, it's my 30th anniversary tomorrow. We had to spend the weekend away up in the mountains as a family.
That would hurt more to miss that than to make the game, I think.
It gives me the freedom to go to Las Vegas next weekend with the rest of the folks from the U.S. and some of the folks from London to perhaps imbibe and enjoy.
Yeah.
So no, but he looked good running back. And listen, I know everybody's losing their mind on Twitter, and I mean I've seen some amazing spankings people have given each other on Twitter so far about how that match went. It's Man City. Yeah. What is it? We've had 99 goals scored against us at the Olympic Stadium. They've got 20% of those in 6 matches. Hey, we're consistent.
Right. Yeah. Well, last year, I mean, it wasn't much different last year, and we went on a 4-game losing streak, and it was still a good year. So, I mean, you can't tell nothing by one game. It's just another day. Bad day at the office.
Yeah, well, just so you know, I've got a challenge going in the chat. Apparently, every time I mention Vegas, the people on the chat have to take a drink. I hope you're all ready.
Okay. Oh shit! I figured I'd get everyone trashed tonight, so that'd be a good way.
No, I got to save the liver for the weekend.
We're 1 weekend away. Oh, drink.
You got water all week.
Water all week. Well, wine tomorrow night. Water all weekend. Maybe a beverage or two. Maybe a beverage or two on the weekend. I'm scared. Do you are you on Twitter at all, Zach, or are you on social media anywhere?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm not very active on Twitter. Facebook's pretty much it.
Good man.
There's some wisdom in that.
Where's the devil?
Yeah.
Right.
But Baz Cox was actually coming back from the match yesterday, and they're talking. Oh yeah, they had 20 or 25 Jaeger bombs each or something like that, and Baz is a big lad. And I'm like, and he's hammered. And all my friends are sending me these pictures, and they're all just hammered. It's like, well, apparently the match was bad, but the day was great.
That's half the battle. Day out.
Yeah.
I was out on the pub by like 6, and I think we got home by like 3 in the afternoon. So we just made a day of it.
Why not?
How many people you get over there?
Well, we've been going to the same pub for like 7 years now, so we're kind of friends with a range of fans. So West Ham wise, we get about a 3 to 4 solid kind of guys every week, and then there's probably like 8 or 9 that'll show up sporadically. But we haven't really done anything to organize a bit, so there's no way, we don't really communicate about it. We just kind of, if you're there, you're there. That's
kind of cool. I know there's a few other groups that are like that. But again, you have at least 3 a year group, which is fantastic. You know, it makes it worth it.
Oh,
yeah, and it's true. But you know, the atmosphere is a little bit better when you have at least a couple other West Ham supporters with you. But yeah, I mean, you guys got a nice spot there. I'm pretty damn sure there's got to be other West Ham fans out there. What I've noticed though, we made a post the other week or the other day, I can't remember anymore. They're making so many fucking posts about like, hey, where in the States are you, etc. Blah 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 blah, and then roll call type of deal. We posted it on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And there's a lot of people who use Twitter who do not touch Facebook or do not touch Instagram, and vice versa. So there's this gap of, people didn't know that there were more supporters in the area because they're not across the board on social media, which I don't blame anybody for doing that. Actually, I commend that, because fucking social media, man, can get brutal, especially Twitter. But I'm telling you, I helped Philly here. I mean, Philly, we had the guy on the other day who was trying to resurrect a group in Philly. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, there was like 6 unique different people on each of them that didn't even know there was a group starting to form, and they're all like brand new. That's like that's 18 different fucking Philadelphia West Ham supporters right there, willing to go to a group who wouldn't have known each other. You know what I mean? Because you don't cross-platform there. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe you should, if you don't want to do it personally, maybe somebody in your group might want to reach out to other people and try to get more. How cool would it be to have another 5 or 6 dudes or chicks, that are West Ham supporters?
Days we get like with everybody's been there too. So I mean, we like yesterday was a good solid 7 or 8. So I've
seen pictures that you posted, man. Yeah, you looked like you at some point or other you've had a decent chunk of people.
Oh yeah, well, a lot of my cousins are going there too. So I mean, like it's like I said, a tight knit little club. We got some that are a little more dedicated and all, but yeah, I know there's a big community for it. And like we have Madison, it's only like an hour away, and I know that some guys will come down from there from time to time. I'm not sure if they have anything organized up there.
No, they don't. But they have people. I know for a fact. I remember seeing Madison, Wisconsin in those roll calls. So that'd be cool.
Right? Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that same thing, Tim, you mentioned a while ago you tried to get the Pittsburgh Hammers on, right? Well, of all things, they popped up again yesterday.
Yeah,
they're back in action.
Because one of the dudes is in the Navy. The other main dude apparently moved away. I don't know if he's back or not, but I know like the main dude that's left. He actually, because he saw my posts, or he heard me mention somewhere that they're dead or whatever, and he chimed in and said, "No, I'm on deployment." Okay. Or so maybe he's not on deployment anymore. So I didn't mean anything by it. You know what I mean? Saying that they're dead. It's just there was no communication. There was nothing, no post, no nothing about the group. Yeah. So I was thinking, hey, well, maybe someone else could step in or whatnot. But no, they're still around, I guess. And
That's really concerned. You know what you're talking about with Zach here. I mean, like, Zach, if you don't want to do the social media thing, I mean, Tim's right. It is the devil right now. I'm getting yelled at by somebody right now on Twitter, so it's all good.
Oh yeah, it's constant. There's always someone bitching about something.
Well, usually because I'm doing something stupid, but that's okay. But I love the fact that at least you're trying, man. You're trying to get together. You're trying to people, and I'd love to see if you got the Madison people there. You maybe teach them what football is. Either way, Oh, I'm sorry. Did that slip out?
Hey, I'm not from Madison.
Yeah. Hey, what else is going on up there with respect to the football? So you mentioned there's some other teams. You said there's a Sunderland group, and there's inevitably going to be a Liverpool group full of arseholes. Who else is meeting up there?
We got a big group of Dortmund guys. We got, like I said, the Tottenham. They moved over. Like I said, there's like 4 or 5 pubs. So, I mean, and our city's only like 600,000 people, so it's pretty well dispersed. And that might even be less now because they kind of pop up more and more as we get on here with the popularity of it all.
Cool.
But yeah, we've got just a wide range. Stoke had a bunch of fans.
Stoke doesn't have fans. Stoke doesn't have fans. They have followers. They're not fans. Is there somebody from Crystal Palace with a drum there too and a megaphone?
Well, didn't Stoke used to have like half the men's national team on the team? I mean, that's the only reason why they had any support was from over here, really.
Yeah, but then they hired Mark Hughes and
Cameron and dipshit. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's cool to hear it's growing. So I'm out here in Denver, and Gina and Charlie, who've been on, and Nick, who's been on here as well with Tim. I mean, they did a great job of growing it, and it's gone from 7 or 8 people. Like, there's a rotation. As Tim mentioned, I'm going to be gone a lot. I'm on hiatus.
And guess who's my co-host on Monday nights from now on?
Who's your co-host?
Ben from Mile High.
He is a sweetheart of a lad.
He's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's great. But I'm gone for a couple of months, and I'm going to miss those guys terribly. But I'm on. What is it? What app are they using right now? WhatsApp right now. We talk football and shit all day long, so it's great.
Yeah.
And cupcakes. It's important to mention the cupcakes for Gina.
Though, right? You're still doing the bitch
fest. I'm doing the bitch fest. It's just going to be a little bit of a challenge because I'll be in different time zones than Nick for quite a bit of time, and then he's going to be buggers. He's doing the real road trip. I'm going to London and Amsterdam and France. He's going to Croatia and Serbia. I think he's got tickets to Red Star Belgrade. So
nice.
He's doing some serious football traveling.
Not bad.
Yeah, would love to have him. When he gets back, do some more stuff on the channel besides the bitch fest too.
He's like me. It's loading up with a bunch of stuff, and apparently, ladies are important. So we got to make sure we make time for the ladies.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I've been married 30 years, Tim. I'm over that.
He's trained.
No, I know. I mean, I think 11 here. Yeah, 11 years. And this is my bedroom, by the way, with this whole West Ham corner that she allows me to have for my show. And she actually sleeps on the couch for an hour while I'm doing my show. And then I have to, when I'm done, I have to take all my shit, shut all my shit down and make the bed and then let her come in. You know what I mean? She's a sweetheart. So
yeah, my wife's an Arsenal fan. So that always makes it. Yeah. But we're not together. So yeah.
How that happened? Can you just tell us, how did she become an Arsenal fan?
Oh, her brother was.
Oh, okay.
So she would go with her brother to watch the game. Same pub. So,
right.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time there.
Well, that's not too shabby, actually. It's pretty cool set of people sometimes to be able to hang out and love the forlorn and the angry, the Arsenal fans. So it's good of you, man. You're a giver. We appreciate that.
If I get in trouble, I switch the topic to Tottenham. She gets more pissed at them. They always do.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. So I know there's a Vegas event coming up this weekend, and Jonathan Spector, the former American West Ham player, he's going to be. No, Scott didn't say it. I said it. So you got to take the drink down. I'm trying to save our chat room here. Yeah, so he's going to be there with the West Ham way. I think Brawley, who we've had on the show a bunch of times, who's a good friend of ours from the American West Ham podcast, is also going to join them for their live podcast, which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, me and Lee, we have wives who just, do not allow their husbands to go to Vegas. That's just the way life is. So, yeah. I'm sorry. I mean,
That's funny. My wife bought me my ticket. What does that mean, Tim?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
And who is this? Who is this Julio? Who is Julio, the pool boy, who's here now? I don't understand.
He's taking care of a couple jobs for you.
No, but the point is, it's supposed to be. Listen, it's going to be a great event. It's going to be this weekend, and just want to say that. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because now I get to save my money for what we're discussing over on our Discord channel. If you guys are not in our Discord channel yet, I hope Gingerbread pops in our chat room tonight because he'll probably post a link to jump on our Discord. Basically, we're planning a London, American Invasion of London trip where we're going to be doing in March for Arsenal away. Since you mentioned Arsenal, I decided that's why I was like, wait a minute, yeah, let's talk about that. Arsenal away, which I have a feeling might get moved to that Monday night, which might be better because the Wolves at home on the 14th, that ain't moving nowhere. And that'll be fantastic. So Arsenal away and Wolves at home, that'll be a great little event. And we're working on a bunch of different things with sponsorship. So basically, we're trying to make it so that we're also working with Ironworks Tours, I believe, who are going to help us with a package deal so that we can get the package deal, and then also try to have some sponsors help alleviate the cost so that really you guys really have to focus on travel because it's how do I put it? Some of you are going to be traveling from the West Coast all the way. I mean, it's going to be more expensive for certain people. I mean, the travel, I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, we're planning that. So if you guys want to get involved with that trip, I think that's going to be a lot more exciting than anything we can talk about right now. I mean, you know what I mean? Like planning in a way, you don't have to go to both matches either. You don't have to. It's just that's what we're planning. And then if you can go to one, you can go to one. It's great. Whichever one you want. We're going to hang out with the Hammers Chat guys. We're going to hang out with the West Ham Fan TV guys, the Cross Hammers guys. Those are really great friends of ours. And when we go over there, we're going to, get to hang out with them. So,
and that's awesome. The only thing I'm getting screwed because they moved, of all things, the West Ham Aston Villa away match from a Saturday afternoon to a Monday. And I got to be in Amsterdam. I had a ticket. I was set to go. So I was going to get...
How? What? Who decided that? Like, who the fuck decides Aston Villa ever get a Monday night match?
Sky has believe it or not, Aston Villa is a really big club. You talk with the folks in England, that is a big club. They haven't done well, but that's a big club, and they've got a huge following. So I got boned because I was going to get Villa away, Man United home, and I've got a ticket to Brighton away, and Brighton away is frightening. Brighton away is frightening, not because of the match, not because of the train ticket or the hotel. There's about 35 or 40 people who are all getting together on Friday afternoon till Sunday morning. Pray for my liver.
It's a muscle. You got to work it out, man.
Oh, it's frightening. I got a flag up for auction for Isla's charity, and the guy who got it for me, a guy named Roger, he lives not far from there. So he's bringing a whole shed load of friends who don't even have tickets. They're just going to show up for the weekend. Go, let's go drink down in Brighton.
That sounds good.
Oh, good Lord. So Zach, talk to me more about your thoughts on football. Okay, so we talked a little bit, how the transfer stuff went, and ignoring yesterday, we got Brighton away, then I think we got Norwich at home, and I can't remember the match after that. I'm sorry, my brain's a little fried tonight. I had this vision that if we got 6 points or 6 or 7 points out of the first 4 matches, that's a huge change from last year. So we got the nothing yesterday. What do you see coming forward for the next few matches?
Well, no, I think this is going to be the real test, right? Man City at home or away is just that's a tough match where if we get anything, we're lucky. Brighton, Norwich, I mean, these are the games we need to start winning to show if we are serious about contending for a higher position in the table. We should be beating the teams we're supposed to beat on paper. I mean, that's really the true sign of a solid team with a good foundation. So I'm really hoping that the next couple of games, things start to click a little more. We start to, react defensively a little smarter, and our attack gets a little more the bite gets a little more fierce out of that. So, I think that there was a lot of signs of positivity yesterday throughout, especially the first 20 some minutes. I saw the good movement, smart passing. And like I said, I think with Fornal or Haller really up front, we're going to be able to feed him the ball and make some nice runs off him. So I'm hoping that they can really start taking advantage of that and really just finding the net a little bit more.
And I agree with you. I mean, I was kind of wondering if we're going to see, Fornells, Allaire, Anderson, Lanzini, and Wilshire play like in kind of in midfield and attacking, against Brighton away and against Norwich at home, just to watch Manuel Pellegrini go, I'm going to punish you.
Right.
You might score 3 goals against us, but we're going to score 6, sort of thing. So it'll be cool. Okay, I asked you a little bit earlier about the transfer business. Would you think we missed out on getting Maxi Gomez? We ended up with Allaire, and there's been a real sense that he's a bit of a revelation. How do you feel about getting Allaire versus Gomez? Do you feel we did better?
Oh yeah, I think that was a beautiful. We've actually, I know Wayne says the French players can't play, but I mean we've gotten some good signings from France. I mean there was Payet, there was that bastard. There was Diame had a good run with us, and then now Allaire. I mean we picked Masuaku when he's on his day. He can be pretty thing. So.
I think he meant like the league, like the league. I think he was referring more to that. I understand. I don't think he can say the snake fucking couldn't play. You know what I mean? The snake could play.
Right.
As a matter of fact, let's bring in Wayne because it's almost time for Hammers Polls. We're actually more than halfway through the show right now. So Wayne, what are you going to say about that?
Thanks, Tim, for coming to my defense there. No, it's not all the French can't play for shit. Just that little message is just when Lee goes on his rant about his French teams. I just like to put that one banner up that says the French can't play for shit, and it's basically the French league is shit. It's like who really wants to watch the French league? Seriously, does anybody in their right mind ever really watch the French league? Okay, it's like I said, Scott. Anybody in their right mind?
The drapes.
I mean, you're a Canadian. I'll give you that. It's okay.
All right, but you're English. I got so Wayne, you can appreciate this. My mate Pete, who I end up with a black lion at Zach. We're in Paris one time. First time ever in Paris. I'm taking pictures of stuff, and I turn around and I look at him and go, "Hey, Pete, pretend you're French." Doesn't pause, surrenders. Right in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Seriously. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what's the best French impression? Oh, no.
They're the only people who've ever made a tank that goes backwards faster than forwards.
Exactly. So. Seriously, it does. My mate Phil, he's always like, he says, I don't want to say anything bad about Payet or anybody. He says, but I fucking hate him. That's what he says. He's like, nothing else. What he said, I never fucking liked him. I never liked him. He says, and this alligator, he's like, he better fucking score at least 15 or 20. That's all there is for it. So,
I take it.
Yeah.
But it is what it bloody is, right? It is what it is.
You got some Hammers polls for us?
I'm going to. I'm trying to bring the fucker up. I think it's weird when there's 4 of us up here. Oh, here you go. Boom, boom. There we go. So the first Hammers poll, pretty topical one, right? Considering we were just talking about that game that magically we all want to forget about. Who starts at left back against Brighton? Who would you guys start against Brighton left back?
Start with Zach.
I don't know.
I mean, Cresswell, man, he's just something. When he plays, when he has a good game defensively, he can be all right. His crosses are not good. He doesn't have a good touch off the ball. He doesn't create much space. I'm not impressed with him going forward.
Did you just say his crosses aren't good? The only thing about Cresswell that is good is his crosses.
I'm just saying they're not great. Masuaku, I think, obviously, I think we all think is much more offensively dangerous. So maybe give him a shot and see how it goes. I mean, 5-0 couldn't go any worse than that. So
I'm going with the rib man. He's got one leg. I mean, he can't be any worse than Cresswell.
One good leg.
Oh my!
No,
God.
He's only got physically one leg. So I mean,
I actually take a picture with him every time I'm over. I got him on the wall upstairs.
Have you seen his leg that he actually wrapped with a signed kit? It's just beautiful. No, I'm going with Masuaku. Masuaku's got a listen. Cresswell, he got to go, baby.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say Masuaku. That should be easy.
Then we can all sing the Masuaku song.
That's my only reason for it. It's like, I mean, there's a song for both of them, but 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it's my favorite song. It really is. In fact, let's all do it again. Let's all do it again, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Arthur Masuaku. Oh, he's better than Lukaku. Oh, he never gives the ball away. There you go. I like this geezer.
Love that
3,
song.
4. So yeah, that's a brilliant one. Let's see what they reckon. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've always been a big Cresswell fan, but no, he got burnt something brutal. I think he was. I don't know if he was scratching his nuts too much the other day or what, but it's
there's a sense in the club that he was fairly good with Andy Carroll, like as mates. Do you think Andy's departure affected him somewhat?
He's been.
He's a professional. Why would it?
Ever since he came back from the injury, he just hasn't been the same well.
Every time
something happened there.
Yeah, I don't see it. I really don't. So is a nice topical one. Speaking of Frenchmen that we love and hate, a full 90 minutes for Allaire or Alla or Ola or whatever you want to call it. And a 45-minute second half showing for Fornals on their Premiership debuts. Who impressed you the most on a bleak day for the team collectively?
That's a stupid question.
Yeah, this is pretty easy.
Seriously, right? Do we even need to go around the room on this one?
Fucking no.
No.
So, seriously, right? It's Alla, right?
Yeah.
It has to be. Let's see what everybody else said. I mean, I thought he was brilliant. I really did. I mean, I think he was one of the bright spots on a really shitty day.
So, out of how many votes? It says
97%. Look at that.
No, but out of how many votes? It says
205 votes.
205
votes. There's still a few people who said Fornals. Really?
Wow. I don't know how.
Is it because Allaire didn't score? Is that what they're saying? You know what I mean?
Maybe they clicked the wrong button.
Yeah, maybe they did. Maybe they did.
Pick it, you can't unpick it. So
they've been drinking heavily. They'd been drinking heavily by the time.
They must have been. They must have been bloody drinking heavily.
Now, what about this? Let's feed off of this now. Fornals should have started. No.
Not against City. No, I don't think so. I think
Antonio is fucking.
He hasn't, but he hasn't really blended himself into the Premier League yet. Like you said, he was going to get bodied. So what do you do the opposite of that? Antonio's stronger. He's bigger. I mean, he was able to push some guys around and try to get something going, but didn't work out.
Yeah, I don't see Antonio starting this weekend. I see Fornals starting this weekend. Much weaker club, less physical, and frankly, I think the Cards will come out a lot faster against Brighton than they did against Man City for all the little cheeky fouls. So, yeah.
It's going to take him a while to get used to the Premier League. Let's look at Anderson last year. It took him a while for him to get the pace. Yeah. And I think what you said, Zach, about it's a tougher league. It really is. It's and he's not a big tough player. He's got some skills, but he's not a big tough player. So it's going to take a while. Do we have time for one more poll?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see. Let's find what they got for the next poll.
What mattress impresses you, Wayne? Which mattress really impresses you?
Which mattress?
I was looking at the ads. I'm sorry, man.
Which one is it? Yeah, I actually like. I tell you what. Having lived in New York for very many years, I really like futons.
I thought you spent a lot of time sleeping on park benches.
I spent a lot of time sleeping with girls who should be sleeping on park benches. But other than that, really. There you go. Oh, look, we got a mention. Me and Gaz got a mention. West Ham Drunks made it. We made it on the leaderboard. So actually, on the leaderboard for Ham's polls, in the 2, 3, and 4 spots is Gaz, me, and West Ham Drunks, which is me. So where are we here?
What is the poll for?
It's a competition that they have. It's a pretty cool competition. Here we go. Oh, what were you most disappointed about from Saturday's game on as far as anything is concerned? Poor defending, dispossession in the midfield, Mike Dean in the VAR, or that you didn't drink enough booze?
I didn't have any gas with VAR. Mike Dean, I have some gas with.
Oh my God, Mike Dean.
I'd go with
Mike Dean was. Sorry. We're a ways away from getting all the hopes and dreams of West Ham fans that will get fair refereeing, but I think the dispossession in midfield was kind of depressing.
They were all over us, weren't they?
Yeah.
They really were. I chose poor defending. Obviously, you can tell I chose poor defending.
We had good officiating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the VAR? I mean, it's. I mean, that whole bullshit over the encroachment on Rice. I mean,
It sucks the life out of the game. It really
yeah,
does.
totally.
Almost as
I
much
hate
as
it.
Dean sucks the life out of everything.
Yeah.
There's a beauty to the imperfection of a human making the call, and what he sees, he sees. I mean, it didn't always go our way, but it was a lot more just, I don't know, in the moment.
Well, you could just tell who Mike Dean hates more, City or Liverpool, and it's Liverpool. As a United supporter, he cannot stand Liverpool more. He had to let City score more goals so that Liverpool couldn't be at the top of the table.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, I just it's. I just
it's a known fact that he's a United supporter, no?
Yeah, probably. I mean, James said something the other day, which I can't repeat on air because it's like he said something about what's the difference between Mike Dale and the reproductive organs of a blue whale, and that's that Mike Dean's a bigger one. and I'm like, yeah, I can't really say that word on on American Hammer TV, but he is a bigger. Sorry, did I say that?
I did appreciate you made it PG. Well done, Wayne.
Yeah, there I go. But see you next Tuesday, Mike Dean. That's all I can say. So yeah, so that's about it. Shout out to Hammers Polls, our partners in crime there. So nice job from them. And with that, I will leave you gentlemen to it, and I will go back into my cubby hole and monitor the room.
Yeah, were there any questions in the chat room tonight at all?
No, there really weren't any questions. Nobody asked any questions, so I've been looking. No questions. Everyone just saying hello and giving it. Giving it. Well, actually, maybe we should ask right now. Oi, you geezers, any questions? Doesn't look like it.
All right. Well, I can just mention that. Thank you, Charlie, for popping in again. I know it's late over there. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Wally. I did see Neil over there in Australia popping in. I see Selly. Selly's going to be doing some more content with us. It's going to be awesome. Who else we got? Dunk Irons. I see him all over the place. Thank you for popping in and checking us out. I saw you there earlier, as a matter of fact. We had a great interview earlier today. I'm so disappointed. I booked it on a time slot where I wasn't able to do it. Hammers Brazil. Man, they got some massive support over there in Brazil. They really do. And not only that, Luis, the guy that they had on that actually represented Hammers Brazil, fantastic dude. We're actually going to be working a lot more with him in the future, whether it be doing something on the podcast, our podcast network that we just started. We're going to be adding a lot more shows. I know Kostya and Gary from South Carolina are going to be doing a show for us as well. We've already had one podcast under our belt with Kyle from Fresno Irons and Zach, from Maryland. And there's a bunch of other shows in the works. We're going to have a complete, kind of like what we're doing with the YouTube channel, but we're going to be doing the same exact type of network of shows for the podcast. So we're already up on Spotify and Google Podcasts. Yeah, Google Play and SoundCloud. iTunes is being kind of a bitch, but we're working on getting it over there too. But yeah, so far a lot of views, which is fantastic, and we're adding a lot of content. Anyway, Hammers Brazil is going to be hopefully doing a show for us in Portuguese, obviously, for the supporters over there in Brazil. Give them a little something. Give them a platform. That's what American Hammers TV is all about, is giving everybody a platform. We have a lot of expats and also some British dudes that are going to be doing stuff with us too. Steve Mothersoul, we're trying to work out a little show for him to do on the podcast network. There's a lot of big stuff happening right now. It's growing super fast. I want to thank Scott Davis for being in the chat. I'm just kidding. Who else in the chat room? Yeah, man. Ian Welford, thank you, buddy. Haven't seen you before, but appreciate you tuning in. Anyway, that interview earlier today was just fantastic. We had Alex, who does our Fantasy Premier League, the guy who just took it to a whole new level. He asked me, Alex from Mississippi, we had him on the show one time, and he said to me, hey, why don't you guys get a Fantasy Premier League going? And I said, hey, I don't have the time, So he said, I'll take care of it for you. And sure enough, he blasted out there. We have, I think, 200 people in the league, which is fantastic. I did not expect that at all. And he's got a show on Tuesday nights that he's inviting 1 to 2 different people on the show from the league, which is kind of cool. And this upcoming week, he's got Cody from Minneapolis and Dave Sperry from St. Louis. They're going to join him and talk all things fantasy for the week. And he'll do that every single week, which is kind of cool. And what else we got going on? We got more shows Wednesday and Thursday, and the new podcast. The second episode is going to come out on Thursday, and a whole bunch of stuff coming up. And this weekend, next Sunday, is going to have 2 more shows. So this is just insane, man. It's hard to keep up with, to be honest with you. And Wayne's leaving me to go do a podcast of his own.
It's going to be part of your network.
Just kidding.
Oh, and by the way, it actually, in fact, we cleaned it up this afternoon, so you will actually see that podcast. First show this Wednesday.
I do love the tag, Claret and Booze. That's really well done, Wayne.
I stole it.
and that's cool. But Tim, I want to hop back to what you're doing with the Brazilian guys. I mean, giving the guys a platform, but more than anything,
you're not allowed to hop back. I'm talking about my podcast here, you wanker.
Hush.
Shut up.
Hush.
Shut up.
Can the producer put him on mute?
Certainly we can. So anyway, I've got my show coming out on Wednesday, which is, of course, is part of the American Hammers TV network, and I'm really looking forward to that. And we'll and that one should be on. I think we've actually just got our approval through for iTunes, so it'll be on iTunes and Google Play. So I need to talk to you about if you're having issues trying to get it on iTunes. Yeah. Let me open up Scott again. I can't do that.
It's validated, but it wouldn't submit. I click submit, and I get the spinning wheel of death. So,
yeah. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Are you back up, Scott? I'm sorry, mate.
It's all good. The thing I was just giving props to Tim on was the whole giving the Brazilian fans a chance in Portuguese. I mean, we could do the same thing with Zach. What do they speak up in Wisconsin, buddy?
Wisconsin.
I'll just go on mute again. Sorry.
Oh no, man! But listen, Zach. Before we get into the final rapid fire questions, I do want to, really thank you for joining us, man. When we started this whole thing, it was just an idea between me and Lee to say, you know what, let's showcase the American West Ham supporters groups across the country, just to show that we're here and try to entice others to say, hey, I want to go drink with them or something, or I want to go watch a match with them. And then it just evolved, and I'm a maniac, so I need to grow things until they don't. I can't stop. I just got to keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And but anyway, that's how it started. And I'm glad
the water he's got in his left arse cheek. It's brutal.
Yeah, actually, it's called Wayne. Yeah. No, but listen, I've met some of the best people in the world, man. Seriously, all over the world. Australia, Brazil, obviously, and Canadians that moved to Denver, and expats that moved to New York, and then eventually over to Dallas, and just I met some of the coolest people in the world because of this, and I can't thank everybody enough. I can't thank our previous guests enough. The people who've stepped up last minute, like Charlie, who's in the chat room right now from Hammers Chat, and his partner in crime there, Tom Atherton. Also, I've asked them last minute to jump on a show as a co-host, like at 2 a.m. their time, and they'll do it like a drop of a hat. They're so cool.
Charlie was brilliant the other evening.
Really he was, fantastic. And just like, and not only that, but just even the Americans that I've asked, like the 2 dudes that did the Brazil interview today, at the last minute, I asked, Alex to step up, and the guy from Iowa Irons, who just had a baby, or he didn't have a baby, but his wife just had a baby a couple of days ago. Like they said, absolutely, I want to do it. I thought that was fucking awesome. So I thank everybody. Appreciate it. And everybody in the chat room, too. Thank you so much for showing up.
And I do love the fact you're getting so many people involved, Tim. It is pretty cool to see that many people get involved. It's been good to see it grow, and it's good to go on. I'm a little sorry to be missing the next few months of it, doing the regular Monday night thing. We'll slip something in special now and then for you, buddy.
No, I appreciate that. And on that note, people like there's no competition either. Even though I'm a maniac and I'll keep on going, but at the same time, I'll have Tony and Brawley on our show. You know what I mean? And I'll have the Green Street Hammers. I'd like to get Adam on the show sometime. You know what I mean? But I know I've had
He's a good
Jeremiah.
dude.
That's what I'm saying. But Jeremiah, I mean, it's all about just giving everybody an opportunity to speak West Ham. This is awesome. I hope you had a good time tonight, Zach. But anyway, let's get into the 10 rapid fire questions, Wayne. This is
What you mean the 10 rapid fire questions? Okay, well, let me go 1 through 11. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. 1 through 11. This is the best
here you go, Zach. Ready? Meat pie or apple pie?
I'm actually vegetarian now, but before I went vegetarian, meat pie and mash and liquor, nothing better. Jelly Eatles, oof.
Well, there's hardly any meat in a pie mash shop anyway, so you could probably still get away with it. Okay, who's your favorite current West Ham player?
I mean, I love Mark Noble, but I gotta just for flat. I like Anderson. I like Anderson going up the side.
Yep,
very nice.
Good. Who frustrates you the most in the current West Ham squad?
Masuaku.
Really?
Yeah, I wish his defending was a little stronger. It would be nice to have him be able to go back and forth and be just as reliable on both ends of the pitch.
Gotcha. Okay, here you go. I've tweaked this one a little bit. FA Cup or top 4 finish?
FA Cup.
Okay, didn't even hesitate. What about West Ham do you love?
The support, beautiful support.
Gotcha. What about West Ham do you hate?
Losing the shit clubs that on paper smack around.
There you go. Yeah, man.
Yep, seriously. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be West Ham, but what is your favorite? What is the sound that makes you happy?
The sound of the crowd when they score a goal. When everyone just jumps up and down, that's beautiful.
Yes.
That's madness. It's great.
Yep. Okay, and now I'm sorry, Scott, we're going to possibly take the G rating off. What is your favorite curse word?
Cunt.
Oh, this is a man after my own heart.
Beautiful word.
It is, isn't it? I love it. My wife said to me, she says, you never curse until she saw me at a football match. Okay, let's see. What team do you love to beat?
Tottenham.
Okay, gotcha. Name a player, past or present day, that epitomizes West Ham United.
I've seen a lot of people say Billy Bonds, and that's what I was gonna say, but I'm gonna go with Alvin Martin.
Yeah,
that's a really good choice.
Have you actually seen any tape of him playing? Or
I've seen some tape.
He was phenomenal.
His interviews are great. He's all in all just seems like a class act.
And YouTube's great for that. For me, it's been Sir Trevor Brooking. I mean, I didn't know who he was until like 5 years ago, and now I just want to meet the guy someday and shake his hand.
You know, the one thing that sticks with me, remember when we did the interview with Bish, Tim?
Yeah.
And how he said that when they used to go out for a drink, and he'd say that Alvy would always like skip off. It's like he would drink a skinful and then just slowly just disappear. Yeah. They turn around and go, "Where is he?" He would just be gone.
Yeah.
That will stick with me forever. Okay, now if you could take a time machine back to experience anything to do with West Ham United, where would you go?
On the pitch, I'd love to see the FA Cup 1980. Off the pitch, I'd like to go. I would have liked to have been on that trip to Sicily. They did a couple, 10 years, 20 years back.
Yeah, 18 years.
Video, 18. Yeah, I seen the videos. It looked like a good time.
Yeah, well, I tell you, we had some good road trips to some real toilets. To some real toilets. Well, chaps, it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna go back to the back room now, back to my hiding spot. Pleasure meeting you, Zach.
Yeah, pleasure.
Enjoy your private time, Wayne.
Hang on. Beam me up, Scotty.
All right.
There was one. There was at least one more question in the chat room before we leave.
Well, there was a question about VAR. Any thoughts on VAR?
Also, someone asked them about the formation too. Should we play 4-4-2? That's right. Yeah. Is the formation wrong?
Yeah, and Mark actually asked if we're playing the wrong formation. And scrolling like mad. I asked boxers or briefs.
Come on.
Mark Noon. Yeah, Mark Noon asks, is the formation wrong? Should we should play a 4-4-2? I don't know if we're really set up for 4-4-2. I don't know if Chicharito and Allaire have any chemistry yet. I'd like to see them maybe in a cup match.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. I think Allaire could create some pretty nice stuff if he gets someone to just run off him well. And Chicharito's good for that. So
yeah, he is. And he is. A friend of mine calls Chicharito the garbage man.
Yeah.
He always cleans up the garbage.
Everybody needs a garbage man.
Yeah. Ian Welford, when should Yarmolenko start? Yeah. I don't know if you should. I'll just leave it at that.
Listen, if they're gonna fucking put Antonio out there ever, then that's when they should get slapped in the face and say, okay, you got Yarmolenko, you know that, right?
Well,
there's a class, and then there's a brute. Like, you want a guy who has fundamentals, can actually pass the ball, and actually, shoot on goal instead of over goal.
Field goal, 3 points. Come on, he's playing American football. But you're right. Actually, that was one of the things that Nick covered in the Bitch Fest a couple of weeks ago. Like, why would you start Antonio? He's a great utility player. Mm-hmm. He's a beast to bring off the bench when the other back is really, really tired. He's brutal against the right or left back. Depends which side he decides to play.
I will say on Saturday there was one play where Antonio did a little tricky footwork, and I almost lost my mind. I was like, who is this guy? Usually just bouncing off people and hoping the ball's there when he looks down at the ground.
That you're right, but that falls back under every conversation we ever have about Antonio, about him being inconsistent. He can't do that all the time, ever. Like he'll have something, he'll pull something spectacular out of his asshole, and then that's it, and then he's burnt out. There's nothing left.
He tries too hard is when he looks kind of foolish, but when he just like kind of just does what he does. I mean, those are the days he looks more comfortable, relaxed, and it kind of works out a little better.
He's best when nobody knows what he's doing because even he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yep. Definitely, yeah.
Here's a good one. Just leave and speak French. Who took that off? Fuck off. Listen, this is a good one because I don't even know. He says he's lived in France. And he and just hearing him, the way he says PSG kind of doesn't sound right to me. It's like, does he really know French? Or did he just wing it for 10 years?
If you live in Paris, you don't need to speak French anymore. Every time I go over there and I try and speak French, eventually somebody in English goes, please stop. I can answer you in English. What would you like?
All right, here we go. This is a good one for Charlie. What's the worst music genre?
Pop country.
Pop
country. That's a good
let us close in prayer. Absolutely.
Like Shania Twain, like that type of thing?
Yeah, pop. I like old, outlaw country. They got a little older, twangy, like to get drunk, blah, blah, blah. But the new guys, man.
What do you think, Scott?
Oh, definitely French-Canadian folk pop.
Right.
French-Canadian folk pop. Okay.
And don't get me wrong. There's a lot of it out there, and it's awful.
Take your word for it.
I'll hit you up later on Spotify. I'll get you some Mitsu to listen to later on.
Can't wait for that.
Oh yeah, Vegas.
Tompkins. James Tompkins.
Tompkins. Tompkins came up the other day. Somebody was doing a FIFA lads list, starting 11 lads, and he was trying to figure out who else to put as center back. And I said, James Tompkins. The guy said, my team is complete.
Nice.
Yeah, there was that video of him a couple of years ago. Wasn't there? He got taken out the nightclub, and if ever there was a lads moment, man.
Him, Aaron Creswell, and Andy Carroll on a lads night out. There's trouble.
Yeah, Andy Carroll, man.
Man, James had to apologize too. I'll never forget that. Sam Allardyce was pissed.
Oh yeah,
that fucking happened. It was all in the media. So
do you like the fact that we've already started the season with Andy Carroll getting that nice ass groove going on the medical bench?
Yeah. Yeah, so let's we're almost done here. I just got to mention our upcoming shows, and then I'll thank you again. But so tomorrow night we have a very special episode since I decided to take over on Monday nights. We're gonna have Ben, who we've had on the show before. We've interviewed him from Mile High Hammers. He's actually from like Philly or something like that, and actually moved out to Denver. We're gonna actually interview some Canadians. Fuck yeah!
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you getting the Toronto lads?
Nope. Hamilton, Hammer City, baby.
I've never even heard of these guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're all over social media except Twitter because Twitter sucks. But they're on Facebook and Instagram. I know for a fact. Yeah, that's our sponsor, Paul from drinkwaredesign.com. That's cool. Yeah, no, so I don't know the dude's name. I just know his handle, and I'm not going to mention it because it's, I don't know. But anyway, the guy's like, and he's going to represent Hammer City Hammers. Yeah, from Hamilton, Ontario. That's going to be fucking cool. I've been trying to get Toronto for months, dude. It's just they keep, not deciding who's going to come on because there's a massive group over there.
And they're really re-upping their game in the last little while about getting back into social media because they kind of fell off it last year. And they're really trying to get back into it because I think they realize they're seeing this go on. They're seeing American Hammers TV and podcast. They're watching Tony and Brawley do their thing on West Ham American podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They're seeing Wayne, that stuff. They're going, there's a team out here. Let's get involved.
Hell yeah. So Tuesday we got the Fantasy Premier League show, which is all about our fantasy league. So it's not just a whodunit race. It's about our league. We have guests on from our league and talking about the statistics in our league, the standings, and bitching about who's in the top, who's on the bottom, etc. It's going to be cool. St. Louis Hammers, Brawley's a good friend there, and Brawley's dad's a good friend actually too. And a dude from Minneapolis, Cody, we've had him on the show. He's awesome too. So that'll be cool. They'll be with Alex from Mississippi, who's going to be hosting it. And then Wednesday nights, I don't even know who's hosting these shows anymore because everybody's telling me that they can't do this and that night. But anyway, we got Nolan, who reached out to me on Twitter. He's super big on Twitter, from Philadelphia, who's going to be on the show.
Wednesday.
Okay, that's right.
Bye.
You and Lee, if Lee ever comes back from Maine, I know he comes back to the border of Canada and he's realized he didn't have his passport. So it's expired. So
he saw the promised land. He just couldn't go.
He probably snuck his way under the. I don't even know if he's coming back, man. Who knows?
I want to do that I Dream a Genie thing. Here we go.
So anyway, I guess you'll be interviewing Nolan from Philadelphia, Wayne. And then we got this kid named Joss, who I also found on Twitter, from Kansas City, who just discovered there was a Kansas City group. And he's going to join up with them this year. So he's not the head of the group, but he's definitely going to be part of it. And that's fantastic. Seeing these new people are joining the groups that are already in existence. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Oh, how can I forget, man? Sunday. The show you can't miss, man. Matthew Etherington. I'm sorry. Matthew Etherington's coming on American Hammers TV, people. Me and Lee are going to interview him at 2 p.m. Eastern time for a whole hour. It's going to be fantastic. So, yeah, Matt Etherington, baby.
And we're going to try and sneak a few things on for you from the Vegas event as well, Tim.
That's
so
right.
You'll see they're going to be canned. We're going to send them up. I don't know how long. Yeah, drink. I don't know how long they'll be. The best thing is Brawley's dad got a Lucador mask for X, so we can put a Mexican wrestling mask on X and get him on there.
I heard the dude from New Orleans is going to be sitting with you guys, huh?
The Hollander dude's going to be there. I'm really looking forward. It'll be amazing.
Yeah. He said that because he was asking what we were doing for during the event, and I mentioned that you guys were going to be there. I don't know if what exactly is going to go down, but we definitely want something going on from there. And he said if you guys need any help, he'd be more than happy to. He's a great guy.
Yeah, Bradley's a good lad.
So at this time next week, we have someone named Andy. All I have is Andy. I don't even remember who it was or where he's from yet. But anyway, we have shows coming, man. So subscribe, like it says right down there. If you have not subscribed yet, if you're watching this and haven't subscribed yet, please do. We're at 760 now, I think, a little over that, and we're trying to get to 1,000 as soon as possible. As soon as we get there, we're going to do some American Hammers TV swag giveaways, which is going to be fucking awesome. Also, on that note, one last thing, please, people, buy a scarf. You guys voted on the scarves, please buy one. You know what I'm saying? Like, you pick the winner, and it's the not checker, but what's the one called where it's got the, I don't know. Anyway, there was
striped.
Sign number 3. Yeah, the striped one. Striped. Jesus fucking Christ! I can't.
How many do you have left?
20.
Yeah.
20. So anyway, yeah, 20.
That's decent. You started with quite a few more than that, so that's cool to see them start to move on.
Yeah, no, cool. we started with 50, and American Hammers TV people bought like 10 of them. So we actually sold about, to viewers and the followers and so on, we sold 20. So we need to sell another 20, which would be great. And we also have t-shirts and all other good stuff for sale. Just stay tuned and follow us all over social media. We are on all of the social media, accounts and stuff like that. So follow us. American Hammers Radio now has an Instagram page. We're going to be trying to get a Twitter up and all that other good stuff for it coming up soon. So you can follow all the new shows we got coming up, which we have a lot of new shows in the works. So thank you guys so much. Listen, Zach, I hope you had a good time. I know we did a lot of like promoting and stuff, but it's usually what we do at the 9 o'clock Sunday show for the week. So I'm sorry, but I hope you had a blast. We'd love to have you back on throughout the season and it's in some way, shape, or form. It was a pleasure talking to you. It was a pleasure talking with you, Scott, again. I probably won't talk to you for a little while, really. I mean,
I'll be gone for a while.
I don't think we've ever been on the same show other than the one I interviewed you, right?
I think this is the number 2 or number 3. I can't remember. Whatever. I know who you are.
It was a pleasure.
I know where you live.
And Wayne, pop back in and say goodbye, brother. I appreciate your help tonight. You were fantastic.
Goodbye, brother.
All right. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.